Greetings, basketball fans. We're coming to you from Jenison Fieldhouse in the campus of Michigan State University at East Lansing. You're about to witness the Michigan High School Basketball Tournament, the Class A Championship game, conducted under the auspices of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. This statewide telecast is being sponsored by the Michigan Bell Telephone Company. Well, this is Don Wadrick, and I'm speaking to you from way up above the court here at Jenison Fieldhouse in Michigan State, and I'll be bringing you the play-by-play of this championship Class A game between Adrian and Ferndale. And now, let's go down to the fellow who'll bring you the color and the highlights of the game, Dave Diles.
Thank you very much, Don. This will be the 38th State High School Basketball Tournament, the tournament going all the way back to 1925. But from 1932 through 1947, separate champions were determined in all classes in both the upper and lower peninsulas. Statewide competition at the state tournament level resumed in 1948, and it's just been in the last couple of years that the Detroit City schools have re-entered state tournament play. The 18 finalists competing here at Jenison Fieldhouse today and tonight are the survivors of some 755 teams who began tournament competition in the first week in March. All told, some 12,000 high school boys were members of these teams. And now let's go to see how these other teams made out today. We've already crowned 3 champions. In Class D, Britton-Macon won the championship, first of all defeating Camden Frontier, and then taking the measure of Brethren Norman Dixon, and then winning the title in a big... In Class C, New Buffalo, the winner, defeating Addison in the first round, and then taking the measure of Detroit St. Thomas, and then beating Houghton in one of the most thrilling games we've ever seen, 59-58. New Buffalo in that one overcame an 18-point deficit in a real spirited team effort. Moving on to Class B, of course, there's no surprise here. River Rouge, the winner, defeating Dundee here first, and then taking the measure of Rudyard in very easy fashion. And then, in a game that was close only at times today, River Rouge defeating Hudsonville Unity Christian 59-49. We're ready now for the big one in Class A. You can see that Ferndale and Adrian are going to meet here for the real big one. Ferndale 21-0, Adrian 18-4.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Michigan High School Class A Tournament Finals. We'll have our lineups in just a moment. Right now, we invite you to stand and join in with the playing of our national anthem.
We're just about ready now for the introduction of players.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce to you our 2 teams of the Class A finals here this evening, beginning with Ferndale. Beginning at forward will be number 51, Truman McNeil.
Truman McNeil, 6'2", he's a senior, number 51.
Number 45, Bob Pallardo.
Number 45 is Bob Pallardo, 6'2", he's a junior.
At center, number 53, Bruce Rodwan.
The center, number 53, Bruce Rodwan. He's 6'4" and just a junior.
Starting
man
at
on the
guard
board.
For Ferndale, number 33, Jeff Hicks.
Here's the fellow who makes the Ferndale attack go. Jeff Hicks, number 33, 5'11", he's a senior.
And number 25, Don Brooks.
Completing the starting five, number 25, Don Brooks, 6 feet even.
And
He is a
Ferndale's
senior.
head basketball coach,
The head basketball
Roy
coach of
Burkhart.
Ferndale, Roy Burkhart. He's been the head coach since 1946. This is Ferndale's second trip
Starting
to the
at
state
forward
Class A
for
tournament.
Adrian, number 34, Steve Reimel.
A big hand for number 34, Steve Reimel. He's 6 feet, just a junior from Adrian. 3 of
Number
Adrian's starters
42,
are juniors.
Doug Nelson.
Doug Nelson, number 42, 6 feet even. He is a junior.
At center, number 52, Rick Hunt.
Rick Hunt, he's 6 feet 3, just a junior, number 52.
At guard for Adrian, number 40, Joe Hubbard.
Joe Hubbard, number 40, 5'10", he's a senior.
And number 54, Pete Hodap.
Pete Hodap, 54, 6
And
feet even,
Adrian's
he's
head
a senior.
coach, Miney Busak.
You know, pretty good invention, the telephone, and a lot better now than when it was invented. And better than it was only a few years ago. Ever wonder what it will be like in the future?
Well, we're about ready to start the opening tip-off. The players are still taking the last warm-ups, and we're about ready to go. The officials tonight will be Vern Norris, the referee. He's from Western Michigan, and he is the assistant placement director at the Western Michigan University at Kalamazoo. The umpire is Chuck Bull. He's a merchandiser at Heckman Biscuit in Grand Rapids, and he's a former coach at Calvin and went to school there. And you'll be able to distinguish between the two officials tonight. Vern Norris is the shorter of the two. Chuck is much larger. Now here comes Ferndale out. And we're going to have the opening tip-off right short here. And this should be a dandy. Last night, Ferndale beat Detroit Northwestern 52-51, and Adrian beat Saginaw at the Hill 59-58. All right, jumping out there now will be 53, Bruce Rodman. They're in the dark uniforms, and in the white uniform will be 52, jumping for Rick Hunt for Adrian. And here's the opening tip-off, Class A state finals. And it goes into the back court. It's taken there by number 40, and that's Joe Hubbard. He gives it to 54. 54 is Pete Hodap into the pivot on the high post. Out again. There's a long jumper, and it's no good. Rebounded by Rodman. And here comes Ferndale. And it's Jeff Hicks with the ball. Underneath, he shoots, he fouls. A foul, first personal foul. And it's on 52. First foul, Rick Hunt. Rick Hunt. And going to the line now will be Jeff Hicks. He'll have 2 shots. There's no score yet. We're in the opening minute of play in the first quarter. There's the first one up there. It's a push shot. It's good. And Ferndale takes an early lead, 1-0. There's a good shot of Jeff Hicks. He's the spark plug of this club. And he threw it in. And Ferndale leads 2-0. Now it's the Adrian Maples on the attack. Bounce pass in to Doug Nelson. He wears the glasses. A shot taken by Joe Hubbard. Good. Joe Hubbard ties it up at 2 each. And down the corner it goes. Out of bounds. A violation was called against Truman McNeil. All right, back now come the Maples from Adrian. There's a Cinderella team into the pivot. It goes to that boy, Nelson. Nelson has the ball. He gives it off to Steve Reinl. Reinl over to the left to 52. Rick Hunt almost loses the ball. It's picked up by 34, and that's Steve Reinl. Reinl on a drive, comes around the right. Bounce passes in, and it's kicked. It's kicked by Ferndale. Kicking it was big Bruce Rodman, and playing it in now will be Adrian. Both teams using a man-to-man so far. Starting the weave now. Come around. Gives it over to the left side. There's a jumper and a foul on the elbow. That foul was on Don Brooks. And that's the first foul. And at the line will be Pete Hodap, considered one of the best 6-foot leapers in the business in high school. It throws it up. The first one's a high one, and it falls in. And it's 3-2 Adrian. Adrian has the lead. And he makes both of them. And Adrian leads by 2 points. 4-2 with 6:41 to go in the first period. Class A state finals from East Lansing. Jenison Fieldhouse. 51 shooting. No good. Hodap rebounds. Tip up by Dolino. No good. And it's retrieved in there by Rick Hunt. He gives it out to Nelson. Nelson a jumper from the key. No good. Rebounded underneath by Adrian. Out to the boy with the glasses, Doug Nelson. And it's 6-2 Adrian over undefeated Ferndale. 21-0 they are. 21 straight wins, and they're trailing by 4. Now they're feeling out the offense. It was flipped away then by Adrian. With it now is Rodman. Gives it back to Jeff Hicks. Hicks takes a jumper. Short. Rodman rebounds. Scores. And it's 6-4. Down the Maples. With the ball was 34, Steve Reimel. He gave it off to Joe Hubbard, 40. Now it goes over to the left side. And he's covered. Throws it back out. And there's that Doug Nelson shooting. And no good. Rebounded by Rodman. And Rodman releases the ball. Going down the floor with Nook. A shot from the right side is no good by Gollenro. By Pilardo. And it's retrieved by Adrian. And this is going to be a hard-fought ball game. These teams are really tough out there. It's Adrian with the ball. Looking the weave off the screen. A shot. Short. Taken by Joe Hubbard, number 40. Rebounded by the Eagles from Ferndale. They're in the document drive all the way through. Rebound. Good. By Bruce Rodman. And it's all tied up at 6-6. And it's the second time it's been tied. Now Adrian working with the ball. Good defense on both teams here. There's a short jumper. No good. And this Rodman really can rebound. He gets up nicely. He gives it off to Brooks. Brooks on the right side working. Working with Pilardo. Pilardo shoots. Good! Beautiful shot. Bad angle from behind the backboard. And Ferndale takes the lead. And the foul is called. Bruce Rodman. Foul was on Rodman. That's his first one. At the line for one shot will be Rick Hunt, the tall 6'3" center. He's the only boy over 6 foot on the Adrian team. He's at the foul line now. Rick Hunt. He averages about 6 points a game. He missed that free throw, but rebounding up there for the ball and then losing it. Rodman took it away that time from Pete Hodap. Now it's Jeff Hicks with the ball. Passes in. McNeil turns around, a jumper, no good. Rebounded, and a foul is called against Truman McNeil. Truman McNeil. That's the first one on him. 3 fouls now against Ferndale, and only 1 against Adrian. They're allowed 5 a half, and then the 1-and-1 takes place. All right, up the line for Adrian now will be Steve Reimel. We have a substitution getting ready to come in. Looks like Lewis Smith. Free throw is missed. Taken off by McNeil, given to Hicks. Hicks on the drive. Jumper from the right side is no good. Retrieved by Adrian. And he bounced the ball out of bounds. No. And the substitution coming in now. Lewis Smith replaces Truman McNeil. Playing it in will be Ferndale into the corner. Way out. Trying to set up a screen here. Goes to Rodman. A turnaround shot from the foul line. Good. Bruce Rodman. Bruce Rodman has 6 points. He's hit 3 for 3 so far. 10-6. And the foul is on Smith, who just came into the game. And it's the first one on him, and 4 team fouls now against Ferndale. They're going to be in foul trouble. Shooting it, 54, no good by Pete Hodap. And it's 10-6 Ferndale. Here's Hicks on a drive. Fast boy underneath. Misses. He gets the rebound, but he was out of bounds. 3:35 to go in the first period, and it's 10-6 Ferndale over Adrian in the Class A state finals from Michigan State. There's that boy that can shoot. 42, Nelson, and the miss and the rebound to Ferndale. Ferndale's controlling the boards, and that's the key so far. Four. Louis Smith makes it 12-6. Traveling violation against Adrian. It's Hicks with the ball for Ferndale. Behind the back pass to Rodman. A turnaround jumper. Good. And he's hit 4 for 4 for 8 points. And they're out in front 14-6. A Well, this is Don Roderick up in the high above our Michigan Bell booth here at Michigan State. And Dave down there on the floor. How's it look right now with this boy Rodman pouring him in along with Smith?
Well, Don, as you know, you and I were in the dressing room before the game, and Roy Burkhart said Rodwan will score. He's accurate with the jump, and he'll get the rebounds. Ferndale has a total height advantage of 7 inches over Adrian. And despite the aggressive play of the Adrian team, that height advantage is paying off right now with a lead of 9 points. Back to you, Don.
Well, Adrian has been in front by 2, but most of the time Ferndale's been in front by 9, and that was a big cheer from the Ferndale crowd across from us. And at the line now, coming up to shoot, will be George Morey, who's in the ball game. His leg is taped on his left side all the way from his thigh to below his knee. George Morey, very small little boy, shoots it up and misses. Rebound by Rodman. Score! 16 points now. 32-21. And it's 11-point bulge for Ferndale. Pass underneath. No good. Adrian can't buy a basket. They're in trouble. This Ferndale team just keeps going. Beautiful drive dribble. Pass off to Morey. Foul called against Rick Hunt of Adrian. 1-on-1 coming up for Jeff Hicks. That's 2 on big Rick Hunt of Adrian. Adrian, the Cinderella team, have got to pull one out again. And here's a substitution coming in. Andy Fisher comes in. See who he'll replace? He replaces Doug Nelson. Doug Nelson, the high scorer all season long for Adrian, has scored a total of 4 points tonight so far with 4 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half. All right, once more at the line now will be Jeff Hicks. It's good. And it's a 13-point lead now. 4 points for Hicks. Watch these boys work that board. They didn't have to. They stole it. Long pass. Smith missed the shot. Just watch Ferndale on this defensive board. They really block out and get position. And they're aggressive out front, too. Beautiful shot by Andy Fisher. That's his first 2 points. And it's 34-23, Ferndale. Rodman rebounds. Foul by Hunt. And that should be 3 on Mr. Hunt. Adrian getting into foul trouble here in the first half. The bonus rule is in effect. But I think it's a 2-shot foul anyway for Rodman. He has 16 points already. 2 shots for Bruce Rodman. He has 16. That's a 34 total of Ferndale. Underhanded throw up, missed. One of the few still shooting that. That was a nice shot there of Chuck Volk, the umpire. Now there's Bruce Rodman. Good. 35-23. 3:25 to go. Oh! And this one is going to be on Jeff Hicks. There's 2 on Hicks. And we have a timeout on the floor with the score, Ferndale 35, Adrian 23. All right, Dave, we have 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first half here. Ferndale out in front by a total of 12. They had a 13-point lead. What's your comment from courtside?
Well, Don, you know, as we were talking to Miney Busak right before the game, he's in his 8th year as head coach at Adrian, and we asked him what he knew about this Ferndale team. He says, really, I don't know very much. I haven't seen them. All I can tell you is what I've heard about them. I heard they're big. I heard they're rough. I heard they've got a very tough defense. Well, all the things that he heard about that Ferndale team certainly have proved to be true, at least here in the first half of tonight's game. This is Ferndale's second trip to the state Class A tournament. Ferndale lost to Kalamazoo Central in the 1949 semifinals. Kalamazoo Central, of course, at that time, one of the top teams in the state and winner of 3 consecutive championships. Back to you, Don.
Well, Dave, Adrian is also having trouble shooting. They're only shooting about a 27% average from the floor, and you can't win Class A ball games with that percentage. Going to the line now for Adrian will be Steve Reinau. Steve Reinau has averaged 12 points a game all season. He's been held now to a total of only 2 points. So if Adrian can get their shooting eye back, they could bounce back into this game. It's 35-23, Ferndale out in front. 2 shots coming up for Rymal. R-Y-M-A-L. No good. One more shot coming. Push shot. Good. 35-24. Ferndale will play it in. Clock starts in action again. Coming up to the 3-minute mark in the half. A lot of height out there. There's Rodman. Look at him rebound. Look at those boys rebound. And Adrian battled it and threw it away. 4 errors against Adrian, having the ball and throwing it away or losing it in violation. Only 1 against Ferndale. Hicks all the way, passed it off to Rodman and went out of bounds. Adrian will play it in. There was a foul call. Pete Hodap, the foul was on Hodap, and that's 2 on Pete Hodap. 54. Adrian, 2:46 to go, 11-point lead. Hicks at the line for 1-1. Hicks has a total of 4 points, make it 5. And a 12-point lead now for Ferndale, 36-24. The Eagles are flying high. Missed that one. Fast break coming down, but back is Ferndale in time to stop the fast break. A fake, a drive. Offensive foul against Joe Hubbard. Turning his back then on defense was Bob Pallardo, driving for the basket and coming right in on him. Driving hard was Joe Hubbard. Now, a substitution back in the game is Doug Nelson. Doug Nelson comes in now, and he'll replace Joe Hubbard. There's Doug Nelson, 42. He's the shooter of this game, but he hasn't been scoring too well tonight. He has only 4 points. Morey on a drive. And he's fouled by Andy Fisher. Did you notice how high that dribble was that time by George Morey? He's a little guy. They usually dribble low, but this boy bounces it high. And he dribbles it fast. And he drew the foul. 2 shots coming up for Morey. Morey is yet to score, but he dropped that one in. It's now 37-24. 13-point lead again. That's the second time. Ferndale's had a 13, and he missed this one. There's a rebound tip. Good by Pallardo. And it's 39-24, a 15-point lead with 2:13 to go in the half. Driving the baseline all the way, passing it off, and he is fouled. And that is driving in there was Pete Hodap. Hodap will go to the line, 1-1. On Smith, 2 on Smith. 39-24, Ferndale, 15-point lead with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. And a substitution coming back in the game would be the starter, Don Brooks, and he replaces Lou Smith. Smith goes out. He's been doing well. He had 11 points. And at the line now is Pete Hodap. Made that one good. 39-25. Pete Hodap from Adrian. High shot, good. Boy, he throws that free throw way up there. 4 points for Hodap. 13-point lead now for Ferndale. They're in possession. 2 minutes to go exactly in the half. Hicks goes to Rodman, to high post. Back out to Hicks. Either rebounding on the part of Ferndale, that's the difference so far. The jump ball is called. Pallardo tying up Pete Hodap at the Ferndale foul line. And the crowd sympathy is definitely with Adrian here as they're outmanned on height. There's a shot by Pallardo. It's good and a foul. Called against Bruce Rodman for pushing. Basket's good. It's 41-26. Bruce Rodman, the foul was on Rodman. And Rodwan goes out. He's replaced by Smith, and he gets a great hand from the Ferndale crowd here at Michigan State this evening. 41-26. 17 points for Rodwan as he goes out. What a first half he's had. 1:36 to go. At the line is Hunt. Makes it good. 1-1. 8 points for Rick Hunt. Chews his gum nonchalantly, bounces the ball, gets the feel of it. And it bounced in again. He hit the rim, the glass, and back in the basket. It's 28-41 now. 13-point lead for Ferndale. 1:30 to go in the second quarter. Pass underneath to Smith. Missed it. Fast break. Drive. Foul. And a charging foul is called against Doug Nelson. That's 3 on Nelson. Going to the line will be George Morey. Thirteen fouls already against Adrian. 12 against Ferndale. Morey makes the first one. And it's 42-28, a 14-point lead for Ferndale. 1:19 to go in the second period. Missed that one. Rebounded by Adrian. No fast break. Ferndale is set. Doug shoots from the corner. No good. Look at that Ferndale team rebound. Fast break the opposite way. 3 on 2. Morey shoots. Scores. 44-28. 16-point lead. No good. There's that rebound again by Ferndale. And a foul. It's called against 54, Pete Hodap. That's 3 on Hodap. And Adrian is in foul trouble all down the line. 4 men with 3 fouls and a timeout on the floor with a score. Ferndale 44, Adrian 28. Well, it's going to be foul problems. There's no doubt about it. And out in the center of the court, let's give a look at the Ferndale cheerleaders and listen to that crowd. And now coming out of the Adrian cheerleaders. There you are, and there's Ferndale out in front, 44-28 by 16 points. And I might add that Adrian has shot 23% in the second period. 53 seconds to go, Dave, and it looks like it's going to be a tough night for Adrian. All right, out comes Adrian now. They're dressed in white. Dark brown, Ferndale. 44-28. There was only a 4-point difference at the quarter. Ferndale 19, Adrian 15, and then Ferndale broke it wide open here in the second period. And at the line now will be Jeff Hicks, 1-1. Missed it. Tip up. No good. Look at that boy dribble behind his back. Jeff Hicks throws it out to Morey. There's that boy with that high dribble. He gives it off over to the right. They moved that ball, and it was called palming against Jeff Hicks. That's error number 2 against Ferndale. 25 seconds to go. Ball is stolen. Boy, they play it tough in there. 20 seconds. The boy with a high dribble. All away. Foul is called against Louis Smith. That's 3 against Louis Smith. Going to the line will be Rick Hunt. Well, it's just rugged rebounding so far for Ferndale, and they control both boards. They're a rugged outfit. game they played with Grosse Pointe in the quarterfinals was a dandy 56-55. Then they beat Northwestern Detroit 52-51 last night. Now they're leading again. There's a foul called. And the foul is on number 25, Don Brooks. That's 3 on Brooks. And at the line shooting will be Steve Rimo with 9 seconds left in the second period. He has 3 points. Make it 4. 44-29. 15-point lead. Makes it good. He has 6 points, and Ferndale leads Adrian 44-35 points, I'm sorry. Look at that boy go. He's fast. Bounced it off, but it was kicked out of bounds by Steve Rimo. Ferndale will play it in with 4 seconds remaining. Milano shoots. And there's the buzzer. And at the end of the half, Ferndale 44, Adrian 30. Well, now at halftime, we've got some very interesting things for you. Right down to courtside and Dave Diles.
Thank you very much, Don. If this Ferndale team doesn't fold, it's going to be a wonder. This 2 champions decided this afternoon who came back from behind to claim the championships. All in told, there were 3 champions crowned today in jam-packed Jenison Fieldhouse here on the campus of Michigan State University. Little Britain-Macon won the Class D title, beating Negaunee St. Paul 59-58 with a great come-from-behind effort. And we talked with the winning coach, Sam Hamilton. With me now, in a very exciting moment here at the State Class D high school tournament, the game just over, the coach of the winning Britain-Macon team. Coach, you had a wonderful, this is Sam Hamilton, incidentally. Coach, you had a wonderful game today, and it looked for a moment like your boys would just run them off the court, but that Negaunee team, you had a lot of respect for.
They had a real nice ball club. They had a real nice hustling ball club. Our kids had to come back there in the end, but
they did. You know, the crowd was pretty evenly divided. Your boys were so much bigger. Yeah. I think you had about 5 inches per man on them. And this was the toughest game I know. This is an undefeated season for you.
Yes.
How many seasons have you been at Britain now?
4.
And of course, you've never had a season quite like this. I know.
This is my 13th year of coaching.
Well, I know it's your most pleasant one, Sam, and I want to wish you and your Britain team. Now, tell me about this team. Will it be back next year, mostly intact?
I lose 3 or 4 of them.
Well, I know you've got some good ones coming up. You didn't get a chance to use many of those reserves today because it was a tough battle. Sam, thank you very much, and again, our congratulations on winning the State Class D championship.
Thank you.
With me now, very well-known man in Michigan circles, Harry Geisler, the superintendent of schools at Morenci and president of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Mr. Geisler, you have a fine turnout here tonight.
Thank you. This has been a very wonderful evening. I think it's the biggest show in Michigan.
Well, we hope so, and Michigan Bell certainly happy to bring it your way. I want to call in now an old friend of mine, Al Bush, who's the assistant state athletic director working directly under Charlie Forsythe. And Al, all I can say is you've done a wonderful job once again.
Well, thank you, Dave. It takes the cooperation of a whole lot of people. They all pitch in and do a good job.
Fine, Al.
Going well.
You know, Al, I want you to watch an interview here. You know, New Buffalo won the Class C title today, wiping out that 18-point deficit, and you and I thought that was one of the finest games we've ever seen.
That was terrific.
They edged Houghton 59-58, and here's the winning coach, Ron Mossison. Well, the State Class C championship game is history. Jenison Fieldhouse is all but deserted at this moment, and the man standing with me is fresh out of the shower after his New Buffalo team has defeated Houghton in a tremendous comeback effort for the State Class C championship. Ron, I know you are literally all wet, and I know nobody in Jenison Fieldhouse thought you could make it when you're 18 points down.
Well, it was a tough goal. We just never gave up.
Your team has done this all year, isn't that correct?
Yeah, we've been notoriously a bad first quarter ball club, and ever since the first Friday in September, we've been a second half ball club since our first football game.
And you never gave up on them today?
And we just never quit. You can never, as soon as you believe that you can't come back, that it's too late, why, it is too late then. And we just never felt that we were ever out of the ball game, and we came back and
Well, I think we ought to tell many of our friends around the state of Michigan on the Michigan Bell Network that this young man with me here has been with this New Buffalo team for 6 years now, 5 years as an assistant coach, and this is the year that he stepped in as head coach, and in his first year brought him to the state championship. So you know these boys pretty well, don't you, Ron?
Pretty well. I felt all along that these were my boys. I started them as some of them as 8th graders and most of them as freshmen, and really the only year that I didn't work with them very much was last year as when the boys were juniors on the varsity.
Ron, thank you so much. Best of luck.
You're very
Congratulations.
welcome. Thank you.
The man with me now is the man most responsible for the tremendous growth and success of state high school basketball in Michigan. Charles Forsythe, the longtime state director of athletics for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Charlie, welcome to our microphone.
Well, Dave, thank you. I'm certainly glad to be here. We think this is a great occasion to have the chance for hundreds of thousands of people to see this game. We hope someday they can see all of them that we have. We'll have around 35,000 people here today, but this one tonight, with over 12,000 people here and thousands of others throughout Michigan and other parts of the country probably seeing this game tonight. We think it's a wonderful thing. We think it's a wonderful thing that the Bell Telephone Company saw fit to sponsor this program tonight, or at least get it a start, and we hope we can carry it into all of our classes another year. That, of course, is up to somebody else.
You know, Charlie, they do that over in Illinois. Of course, basketball's quite big there, too. And they tell me that Illinois Bell sponsors the tournament from start to finish, so maybe this is the beginning of something that will take basketball all over the state of Michigan.
That's right, Dave. You know, basketball, right now we're thinking about it. Our Michigan High School Athletic Association, there's 763 high schools in it. We have sports, football, basketball, baseball, track, tennis, golf, swimming, cross country, wrestling, gymnastics. All of those are our sports that we sponsor. And we have finals in practically all of them. The basketball tournament is the only statewide final. But we think this is a big thing. We like it. We appreciate the opportunity of being here.
Charles, thank you so very much. You know, to no one's surprise, and I'm sure not to your surprise, although you can't pick a favorite, River Rouge won the state Class B championship, and we talked with their victorious coach, Lofton Green. With me now is one of Michigan's most successful coaches and, of course, one of the state's most sought-after coaches, Lofton Green, whose River Rouge team today has just won its third consecutive Class B championship and its sixth in 10 years. Lofton, congratulations, and the obvious question, how does this championship team compare with the others?
Well, I don't think this team is quite as good as our last 2 years, but we got to give them credit. They're real battlers out on the floor.
Often one of the most distressing things in high school basketball circles in Michigan is your domination of the state Class B championship, and I understand you might just be a little bit tough next year.
Well, our enrollment is on the borderline, but we have 4 boys back from this year's team and a real good reserve team, so I think we have a nucleus to build on.
Often, congratulations again, and for your many successes, and I know that you have many friends throughout the state, many envious people who wonder how you do it at River Rouge. What's the answer?
Well, it's a lot of cooperation. I have a lot of good men working for me and bring the kids up. So it's a
good all-around program then.
Yes.
Well, Lofton, again, our congratulations, and I know we'll see you here again next year.
Well, I hope so. Thank you, Dave.
Have any of you teenagers ever kept score on the length of time you spend talking on the telephone? Well, get an earful and an eyeful of this.
Claiborne had a...
Don Wattrick back at Jenison Fieldhouse again, and here's the scoring at the end of the first half. For the Ferndale team that have 44 points, Bob Filato has 6 points. Nick Neal has 3 points. Lewis Smith has 9. Bruce Rodwan, the high man, with 17 points. Don Brooks is scoreless. George Morey has 4 points. Jeff Hicks had 5 for 44 points. And in the first period, it was Ferndale 19, Adrian 15. And then Ferndale outscored them 25-15 in the second period to have a 44-30 lead at halftime. For Adrian at halftime, it's Steve Reimel with 5 points, Andy Fisher with 2, and Joe Hubbard with 4 points, Doug Nelson with 4, Rick Hunt with 9, and Pete Hodapp with 4. As far as shooting is concerned, for Ferndale, 34%, 34.7 shooting percentage in the first half, making 61% of their free throws. And for Adrian, only 27% in the field with 8 out of 29. Ferndale made 17 out of 49. So you can see that's it right there. And 63% at the half for Adrian at the foul line, making 14 out of 22. And Ferndale made 10 out of 18. So those are the bare statistics, but the fact remains that Ferndale has a nice 14-point cushion going into the second half. 14 points. At one time, they led by 16. And Adrian had a 1-point margin one time and a 2-point margin, but that was very early. So the crowd now is about ready to watch this action, and we've got 16 minutes of hectic action coming up. And don't sell any team short in the state tournament. We had some comebacks today that would really raise your hair. There were some great ones. And this Adrian team going through the district, beat Ipsy Central 61-53, beat Romulus 78-70, beat Farmington 69-53 in double overtime, took Ann Arbor 43-41, and then upset Jackson in the quarterfinals 52-50, and then Adrian beat Saginaw off the Hill last night 59-58. Fly high mighty. That's the Ferndale Eagle sign on the far side. And they're flying high right now, and we'll see how long they'll fly high. See what this Adrian team will do. They'll come back battling, you can bet on that. But they got foul trouble along the line, too, as have both teams. In fact, Hubbard, Nelson, Hunt, and Hodap all have 3 fouls. 3 fouls on Brooks and McNeil, Smith, and Rodwan. So we'll see what we will see. And we're about ready to start here as referee Vern Norris is on the far side and now throwing it up with umpire Chuck Bulk, B-U-L-T. So we're ready to go here. Start of the third period. Jenison Fieldhouse, Michigan Bell, your host. Down the line goes Adrian. They got the tip. See if they can get a hot hand. There's a shot by Doug Nelson. There's that rebounding team again, Ferndale. Fast break. Neither team has been able to work a fast break tonight. Those defenses get back very good. Adrian got the rebound. They're determined to get back into this contest. Cinderella team, Class A. Can't hit. Ball was knocked out of bounds by Ferndale, however. Adrian will play it in. Imagine the excitement of a kid playing in a state final game here. Well, this is something they dream about. They work at it from the 5th, 4th grade on up to play in the state finals. And here they are, Adrian and Ferndale. They can't buy a basket. But as Dave Diles interviewed those coaches, you don't give up in basketball, in high school or college or pro. There's a jumper. Good. Truman McNeil. 5 points for Truman, and it's 46-30. 16-point lead. Adrian trying hard. Score! Steve Reimel. That's 7 points for Steve. 46-32. Sarah McNeil miss it. Rebound. Now Adrian grabbed that rebound. How about that? That's a tough break. A layup, and he missed it. Fast break. Here it is, the first one tonight. And Truman McNeil puts it in. That's the first fast break tonight. 16-point lead again for the third time. 7 points for Truman McNeil. Doug Nelson. That's 6 points for Nelson. Traveling called against Ferndale. No, they called against Adrian after that interception. Pete Hodep. I thought it was in a drive down through. In the forecourt now is Ferndale, trying to set something up. They've had one fast break, but it looks like they're going to try to run more. Going right underneath and laying it up with Jeff Hicks. 7 points. And you notice those foul beleaguered team from Adrian, the Maples, have to almost let them go through. They've got so many fouls. Cinderella team, Class A. Can't hit. Ball was knocked out of bounds by Ferndale, however. Adrian will play it in. Imagine the excitement of a kid playing in a state final game here. Well, this is something they dream about. They work at it from the 5th, 4th grade on up to play in the state finals. And here they are, Adrian and Ferndale. They can't buy a basket. But as Dave Diles interviewed those coaches, you don't give up in basketball, in high school or college or pro. There's a jumper. Good. Truman McNeil. 5 points for Truman, and it's 46-30. 16-point lead. Adrian trying hard. Score! Steve Reimel. That's 7 points for Steve. 46-32. Sarah McNeil miss it. Rebound. Now Adrian grabbed that rebound. How about that? That's a tough break. A layup, and he missed it. Fast break. Here it is, the first one tonight. And Truman McNeil puts it in. That's the first fast break tonight. 16-point lead again for the third time. 7 points for Truman McNeil. Doug Nelson. That's 6 points for Nelson. Traveling called against Ferndale. No, they called against Adrian after that interception. Pete Hodep. I thought it was in a drive down through. In the forecourt now is Ferndale, trying to set something up. They've had one fast break, but it looks like they're going to try to run more. Going right underneath and laying it up with Jeff Hicks. 7 points. And you notice those fouls, beleaguered team from Adrian, the Maples, have to almost let them go through. They've got so many fouls. Beautiful left-handed shot by Andy Fisher. And the press is on by Adrian. It doesn't bother Ferndale a bit. Goes right through, passes off nicely. Rodman scores. And that's 19 points now for Rodman with 52-36. See what's called here. 4 times Ferndale's led by 16, and that's what they have right now. Heimel shot no good. Hunt shoots. Scores! Rick Hunt. He has 11 points. And the full court press by Adrian doesn't bother Ferndale a bit. Rodman. Tip up. McNeil. And a foul is called against Doug Nelson. That's 4 on Nelson. One more, and he's through, and a sub is coming in now. Joe Hubbard replacing Doug Nelson. 4:20 to go in the third period. The score, Ferndale 52, Adrian 38. At the line now, Truman McNeil, 2 shots. Good. 53-38. 15-point lead. Ferndale, 4:20 to go in the third period. Makes that one. He has 9 points now, Truman McNeil. Ferndale team looking awfully good. Tipped out of bounds by Hicks. Adrian will play it in. Ferndale team, one of the most rugged teams on the board you've seen in a long time. Shot by Hubbard is no good. Rodman rebound. Out to Hicks. Here's the quarterback. Foul on Steve Reimel. That should be 2 fouls on Reimel. And at the line is Bob Pilardo. Pilardo's a big, rugged boy. He has 6 points. He missed that first one. Bob Pilardo. 54-38 Ferndale lead. 3:44 to go. And it's good. Now it's a 17-point lead. That's the biggest margin of the evening so far. Good shot by Steve Reimel. That's 9 points for Reimel. There's a press on. Pretty tough team to press with those guards in there. Ferndale. Hicks on a drive. Rebounded by Adrian. 3-on-1. Here's our first fast break. Behind the back pass. Beautiful. And Andy Fisher scores. That's 6 points now for Fisher. 55-42. Ferndale trying to slow it down here. Third period. Shot by McNeil. Good. 57-42. 11 points for Truman McNeil. 57-42. There's the weave. Cross-cut, blocked, shot. Grabbed by Ferndale. Rodman had a fast break opportunity and decided against it. Slowed it down. Now, Pillardo. Gives it back to Brooks. To Hicks. Ferndale definitely in a slow-down pattern here. Looking for the good shot. And Hunt and Rodman will jump at the Ferndale foul line. 2 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the third period. Ferndale leads 57-42. Class A state finals. Jenison Fieldhouse and East Lansing, Michigan Valley, your host. Tipped back by Rodman, grabbed off by Hicks. Pillardo on a drive. Offensive foul, no basket. Basket falls against Pillardo. That's his first one, Pillardo. He really drove in that time. They're a driving team. Shot from up the top of the key. Rebounded by Rodman. That press is not affecting Ferndale at all. Well coached unit, this Ferndale team. Ron Burkhart can be proud of this club. The Eagles of Ferndale, undefeated, 21 in a row. McNeil traveled, faking his drive, and he took too many steps. 57-42, 1 minute, 30 seconds to go in the third period. Beautiful. Andy Fisher. He has 8 points. Shot by Rodman. Rebound by Rodman. Another shot. Rebounded by Adrian. Interception. Beautiful block in there by Hunt that time. On Truman McNeil. Rick Hunt, number 52. Really got up in the air and blocked that shot. Jeff Hicks went through there and said, what are you boys trying to do? Let's get that ball in a basket. 57-44. The tip goes to Ferndale. 53 seconds to go. Gonna wait for that last good shot. He's cute with this ball. Pillardo back to Hicks. Turns around. Comes out. 39 seconds. Here's a control ball pattern now. So they fake and then they drive in and bring the defensive man back with them. And then somebody comes out of the corner. There's the drive. He cuts off. He passes it back. And then we'll drive in. Rodman moves in. 2 men come out. Watch this. There goes a drive down the middle, taking the men with him. Beautiful control ball. 12 seconds. They'll get that last good shot. There goes Hicks in the drive. Passes off. Rodman scores. Beautiful execution. 59-44. And 21 points. A long shot at the gun is no good. And the score at the end of the third quarter. Ferndale 59, Adrian 44. Back at Jenison Fieldhouse, we're ready to start the fourth period with Ferndale leading Adrian 59-44. And here's the final of the Indiana High School Championship game. Muncie Central, the new Indiana champion, being South Bend Central 65-61. And listen to that Ferndale crowd on the far side. With Rodman out there with 21 points already, it reminds me that the most points scored was Ernie Thompson of Saginaw against Benton Harbor last year with 42 points. And with a 15-point margin, the widest margin in the Class A final game was 22 points sent by Detroit Southeastern, 44-22 over Jackson in the 1925 Class A final. So maybe we'll see history made tonight. I don't think that Rodman will beat Thompson's record, but Ferndale has a chance. And now they're into that control ball again. How about that? Look at that Hicks go through and bounce it off. Rodman brings it back out. Burkhart says, boys, let's play it that way now. 33% in the third quarter for Ferndale on shooting. And it's a control game here by Ferndale. How about that? 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Could this backfire or could it not? Ferndale's very clever with it. Look at that. Adrian's going to have to foul, and they do. And this is about the only thing you can do against a control game is to foul. Give them one shot. Hope they don't make the 1-1. And Hicks that time was hit pretty good. He gets up. He's all right. He's a rugged individualist. 59-44. That's 4 fouls. And we have a timeout coming up on the floor. And the score is Ferndale 59, Adrian 44. Dave, well, we've got a new champion at Indiana in Muncie Central, and wonderful to have a new champion here. We've got to have a new one.
Don, we've got to have a new one here tonight because neither one of these teams has ever won a state high school Class A championship before. As a matter of fact, as we mentioned earlier, it's only Ferndale's second trip to the state Class A tournament. They lost to Kalamazoo Central in 1949 semifinals. And there's a little, apparently some confusion as to whether Adrian has been here before, whether it's 1 or 2 times. Someone said it's the first time in the state Class A tournament, and that's what the records show. But the coach says, no, somebody told me we were here in 1920. That was, of course, was before Adrian became a Class A school. Adrian was then in Class B, and this was long before any of these boys here were born. So we're seeing history made tonight, I'm sure, Don. A fine game between 2 fine representative schools of the State High School Athletic Association. Back to you.
7:18 to go, Dave, in this game, and anything can happen when you're talking about high school basketball. However, Ferndale's had the edge all night long. They led 19-15 at the quarter, 44-30 at the half, 59-44 at the third quarter, and they're out in front now, 59-44. Hicks at the line. Jeff Hicks makes it good. 8 points for Jeff Hicks. On a blind screen that time, 34 broke down there, but it was knocked out of bounds by Ferndale. A good blind screen by Steve Reimal. Reimal drives through, and a foul. Charging foul called against Steve Reimal. Offensive foul on Reimal. 16-point lead, Ferndale 60, Adrian 44, 7 minutes and 1 second to go. Rodman at the line. He has 21 points so far. He's the high point man in this game. You're too high and too far. And battle for the rebound. Traveling. Call against Joe Hubbard. He took steps. Adrian has made 9 errors. He's giving him the ball 9 times without a shot. And Ferndale 4 errors tonight. That hurts any team. There's that control ball offense again, apparently. They stole it. Score by Joe Hubbard. Good backfire. They went into it with 8 minutes to go. 60-46. 14-point lead to pull down, though. That's tough. Bounce pass. Still control. Now Truman McNeil shoots. Misses. Rebounded. And a foul called against Truman McNeil. That's 4 on McNeil. 14-point lead. And with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the fourth period, there is only, timeout on the floor, and it's Ferndale 60, Adrian 46. There's the score, Ferndale 60, Adrian 46, with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. And going to the line to shoot now will be Pete Hodap. Hodap has a total of 4 points. Boyd dribble. Neal in a drive. Fouled on Hunt. Rick Hunt.
Foul on Rick Hunt, his fourth.
4th foul. 5:55 to go. 60-46, Ferndale out in front. Here's Truman McNeil. Makes it good. back to a 15-point lead. They had a 17-point margin. Lardo threw it up on a rebound, no good. Hunt took it off for Adrian. Jump ball. Pete Hodap will jump against Bruce Rodman. Hodap in white, Rodman in the dark. That's Ferndale, and they're out in front 61-46. Press is on. You don't press this Jeff Hicks too much. Interception. Fast break, 2-on-1. Driving in. Beautiful block. Beautiful shot. Defensively that time. Very good. By Mr. Don Brooks. He went up and had that ball beautifully. They called a jump ball at the Adrian foul line. He had two men down on him, and he stopped that shot. In the circle, too quick was Adrian, and Ferndale will play it in. You got to stay out of that circle till the ball is tipped. Rodman on the high post. Control again. There's Rodman. Scores. 23 points. Bruce Rodman has 23 points. Ferndale leads 63-46, 17 points. Adrian can't buy one. Oh boy, with a little bit of a legerdemain with his dribble out there. Really moves that ball. Throws it out to control offense. Pass underneath Rodman, all alone. 25 points for Rodman. It's a 19-point lead now as Ferndale has broken this game wide open with that control offense. They don't hold it too much. They wait for that open man, and they're finding him. There's a long one, hit good by Andy Fisher. And it's 65-48. 10 points for him. Fisher goes to the line for one. Fourth foul on Don Brooks. And George Morey's getting ready to come in. Missed the free throw, the rebound. No good. The drive. Foul on Colorado. Here comes the substitute coming in. It's little George Morey with a taped left leg. And replacing at the end of the court is Don Brooks, who has 4 fouls. He joins the bench down there, right in back of the official. And now at the line will be Steve Reimel. Can't buy a basket. For a foul. Jeff Hicks inadvertently stumbled all over Steve Reimel. 3 on him, and it's 1-1 situation now. Reimel has 1-1. If he makes the first one, he gets the second one. 4:21 to go. 4 minutes, 21 seconds to go. It's good, and it's 65-49, a 16-point lead. 10 points for Steve Reimel. Cinderella team coming to the end of the road here at Jenison Fieldhouse. Adrian made this one good, but they're not quitting. There's a press on. Zone press this time. 3 men trying to cover 2. And they stop Hicks, but he throws it in the forecourt. Give it back to him. You got to go after him again. To Rodman. To Morey. Rebound. Colorado. 67-50. 17 points. 9 points for Colorado. Scoring underneath, Andy Fisher. 12 points for Andy. There's that zone press on now. They get it through it. Nobody covering little Morey. Throws it back out to Big Rodman and back out to quarterback Jeff Hicks. Watch this control offense. It's beautiful. They work it well. Look at that backdoor pass. And cross. Morey and Hicks playing anti-eye over. Past the pivot. Rodman short with his shot. Rebound by Falardo. Points for Falardo. 69-52. Full zone by Adrian. But it's a little late, I think. Rodman rebounds. Comes out of the meat grinder. Takes a long hook. Gives it off to Hicks. When you play Ferndale, you're really in a meat grinder under that basket. They rebound both ends beautifully. Shot good by Truman McNeil. And it's 71-52. 19 points. Shot good by Steve Reimel. Reimel has 13. It's timeout on the floor, with Ferndale leading 71-54. Patrick back at Jenison Fieldhouse here, and I'd like to say that some of the crowd is already leaving the Fieldhouse, and that's unusual, but Ferndale is out in front, 71-54, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And we've got some beautiful trophies across the floor. And Ferndale under full zone press, and Hicks brings it up. And he's tied up, jump ball. 2:13 to go. There are the trophies over there that we just took a quick glimpse at for the winning. Oh, look at this pass underneath. And laying it in is Reimel. 15 points for Reimel. As they press, and they got it again. Reimel shoots again, scores again. Look at that zone, full zone, right down in the back court. Long pass out. Goes through to McNeil. Over to Bellardo. He shoots, scores. 73-58. 1:40 to go. Bellardo has 13 points. Oh, this Adrian team really battles. They don't give up. There is Reimel shooting again. No good. Rebounded by Ferndale. They get rid of it quickly. Get away from that zone press. Hicks with the ball. Dribbling around. Center court. 3 men on him. Got it away. Passed it underneath. Comes out again. Foul call against Andy Fisher with 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. Ferndale out in front, 73-58 by 15 points. And a whole host of players come in for Adrian as Coach Miney Busak substitutes very freely out here. 44 is in the ball game. Jack Lewis, and we'll stay right through to the end of this game. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, and Adrian has emptied their bench, and probably the same place will take place with Ferndale here, as both coaches apparently decide this one is all over to all intents and purposes. It's a matter now of the final score. And out on the floor, 44 for Adrian is Jack Lewis. Number 50 is Donald Wickham. Number 32 is Gary Lutzenheiser. Number 30 is Steve Horvath, and number 24 is Gary Dunlap as he goes right down. And the free throws are good. It's now 74-58. Bring it down now is actually the second string for Adrian. And Ferndale starting to empty their bench. Pass underneath. Shot no good. Rebounded by Hicks. He still likes possession of that ball. Pass it over the forecourt to Bellardo. In the corner, a drive underneath, shooting and scoring is Don Brooks. We've got 3 subs ready to come in for Ferndale with 42 seconds left if they can get in. And be a jump ball. And 5 more boys come in for Ferndale. And listen to how these regulars get when they go off. We have only 38 seconds to go in the ball game. We have second strings in there for both. Ferndale out in front, 76-58. Well, you've been watching the Michigan High School Basketball Tournament, the Class A championship game, won by Ferndale with 38 seconds to go, 76-58. It's conducted under the auspices of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. This statewide telecast has been sponsored by the Michigan Bell Telephone Company. This is Don Wattrick saying so long for Dave Diles and yours truly, and hope that you enjoyed it all the way through. Ferndale, the new Class A champion in the state of Michigan, with 38 seconds to go, they're winning 76-58.